Couples therapy is the absolute worst thing you could do to save your marriage. I don't have anything against couples therapists at all. I think they're fantastic. Anybody who gives their lives to help people, I'm 100% for them. So if you're a couples therapist, I'm sorry. It's just my opinion inside of this matter. And let me tell you why, guys, I am not a huge fan of couples therapy itself. Number one is because, generally speaking, in most sessions, you dredge up the past. All right, so you dredge up the past, and then you now talk about the past, and you bring it all the way back up, and it creates this negative residue. There's negative emotional residue in the relationship, and generally speaking, it makes the relationship worse. And here's what we know: we move away from whatever triggers stress, and we move toward whatever triggers happy hormone. So when you get into that session and you dredge up the past, you bring up the past, then all of a sudden now you have this negative residue. You leave that hour session and you go home, right? So that's it. That actually brings me to number two. Number two is that you go home after those sessions. And you go home after those sessions, and now you've got to deal with the negative impact of dredging up the past, talking about things that you have, and you don't have the necessary skills to be able to deal with that negative energy or detoxing the relationship in that way. So that is definitely something that definitely doesn't work at all. And what generally happens is they fight in between. Number three, let's talk about the in between. Number three, the issue is that in the couples therapy session, most people go once a week, right? You may go once or twice a week to couples therapy. Well, when you go once a week to couples therapy, what happens the rest of the week? You went for an hour, and now you've got a whole nother 7 days or 168 hours to be together until the next session, and you don't have the requisite skills to make it work. And you may have brought things up inside the relationship that do not work. Once a week is not going to fix your relationship. Once a week in a conversation cannot fix your relationship. All right. And so let's talk about number four. Number four is somebody else can't save your marriage. That's number four. You got to be your own relationship hero. The cavalry's not coming. You are the cavalry. And if you're not, you better learn how to become it, because the reality of the situation is there is nobody else who can help you and to save your relationship. Let's say that you work with a really great couples therapist. There are a lot of great people out there, great couples therapists out there. Let's say they even help you and get you through this, right? Then what happens? Well, what happens when you have the next problem, the next situation, the next mistake, the next issue that comes up in your relationship? You got to run back to the couples therapist? Come on. No, you've got to discover exactly what it is that's not working in the relationship. You have to discover what you're doing that's triggering that upset, triggering what's not working in the relationship. And you yourself, as a relationship hero, have to be the one that fixes it. All right. So inside of that, guys, there's so many reasons why relationship therapy doesn't work, and why you should be going into a program like mine. You know, I'm completely biased as far as that's concerned, but it's because we see people who come from that and who save their relationships because they now take 100% ownership of it. It's not anybody else who's gonna save the relationship but you. You can discover those skills for yourself that are necessary. If you can be your own couples therapist, then you can transform your relationship. And not just that, you can even make that relationship stronger than ever before, because now your partner knows you as a GOAT, a greatest of all time version. They know what they've got when they're with you. And now you have everything that you need to create that positive emotional residue to keep that relationship to continuing to grow and to thrive. And no couples therapist can do that for you. Only you can do that for yourself. Okay, so if you want to know exactly how to do that, how do I do that, Mario? How do I become my own couples therapist? Well, I'm going to tell you really shortly is that it's going to come down to moving away from stress, taking the stress out of your relationship, the toxicity, and then creating happy hormone or triggering happy hormone that makes them want to come towards you. If you do this, you're going to begin to win in the relationship. If you want to know exactly how to do that, then you just, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button and just watch for more content, because that's exactly what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you how you can be that version of yourself, that marriage master, that person with those skills that can actually produce the results that you want to produce inside of your relationship and beyond. So click that subscribe button. Look forward to talking to you soon. I got your back.